Hello everyone and welcome to Respawn Aimfire episode 86, this breaking news segment on the most irreverent gaming podcast that's kick-ass. My name is Chad Michael Innes. We also have here with us...
Oh, Holden DePardo. I'm sorry,
name.
I was really distracted by your action reporter.
You were enthralled, and so was the audience, and you fucked it up. You guys,
You're just
this
too
week...
good, Chad. You're too good. I can't
Smash Bros. Comes out. That's
Does
the breaking news.
I honestly forgot it comes out this week.
Yeah, it comes out in like 4 days.
Oh my gosh, I've been so distracted.
Well, 3 days. We're recording this Monday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes out night of the Game Awards. Ooh. I plan on coming home from work, catching up on the Game Awards, and at 11 p.m., diving sweet into that Smash Bros.
Oh, that's right. I have to wait till midnight.
Sauce. Yeah, because you're a dumb bitch.
That's exactly what it is. Because I'm
only
stupid
dumb bitches
and have a lower
move to Rhode
IQ,
Island.
I have to wait longer.
Yeah, that's what you get, you idiot. This is the Kick-Ass Irreverent Gaming Podcast where we talk about all sorts of shit like, I don't know, rumors about... What's a rumor that we got on here? Something about the Halo TV series probably failing again. Some shitty PlayStation Plus games, and something Black Panther related. All that's coming your way, but we're going to start with some Nintendo.
You just made that sound so exciting, Chad. Dude, I can't wait to do this.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Game Awards. We're talking about Game Award nominations and predictions.
For a second there, it sounded like you said Game Award dominations, not nominations. I'm like,
Dominatrix. And someone, we accidentally skipped over this because Holden had to go to work like an adult last week.
Sorry,
so we accidentally skipped over this, but someone at the end of this episode is winning $20. Thanks for participating. Cotton Eye Joe.
Did you just stutter up and then just turn it into a song?
I did. It turned into Cotton Eye Joe. Nintendo! Do you guys remember that hot second when we thought Skyward Sword was coming to Nintendo Switch? On
Literally
stage.
lasted a second.
Oh yeah, it was like a day. Hot second is it's a turn of phrase, Holden. It's what the kids say.
Oh,
like it's been a minute.
I miss these things sometimes.
Has been more than a minute. It usually means at least 3 to 4 minutes. There was a symphony, a concert of Zelda music.
Yeah, I thought they stopped doing it, but they're still doing it, I guess.
I don't know. Your mom?
Maybe.
And this person. What is this? The significance of this person? They wrote
E.G.
the
Onuma?
music. Yeah, they
No,
Zelda.
He's like the director, basically, of the Zelda franchise. He like directs a lot of games.
Forever.
Yeah.
All of them, including the Capcom ones.
I think the first one he did was Ocarina of Time.
Okay. Well, what's his name? Eiji Aonuma?
Eiji Onuma.
Eiji Onuma. Yeah. Came out on stage and he's like, I know what you're thinking. Skyward for Switch, right? Everyone's like, what? What are you talking about? Oh my god, Skyward Sword's coming to Switch? Oh my god! Turns out, Nintendo says, no. At this time, we have no plans to release The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword on Switch. That dude was just batshit crazy on stage.
Yeah, why would he say that if Nintendo's going to turn around and be like, absolutely not? That's such a big tease.
Maybe he's trying to get fired.
Notice, though, the language Nintendo uses. At this time, we have no plans to release The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword for Nintendo Switch.
We've got it.
They've got it. They've got it ported already.
We're just going to sit on it for the rest of the time.
Exactly. They didn't say we're not going to port it. They said we're not going to release it.
They're waiting until the Nintendo Switch Classic comes out in 40 years, and they're going to release it as a never-released game.
A never-released port.
Yep.
No, that'd be really funny. It'd be like, we're gonna release N64 with a never-released port of Super Mario World.
We had it ready the whole time.
The whole time it was ready.
It.
I think they're working on it. I think they just had to cover their grounds because they want this to be a surprise at some point.
I think, like, similar to PlayStation name changes, they're working on it, but they're not sure if they're ever going to be able to get there. So they're like, we're not going to say it. Because, everything apparently, I never played it, but everything everyone says is, like, it's so deeply rooted in that Wii Remote that, like, you don't know if you can do
how would handheld mode work?
How would
you play in handheld? How would you play in handheld mode if you have to, like, swipe the Switch around to swing your sword?
I don't know.
Like,
maybe that's why they're not releasing it yet, because it's fucking broken.
That'd be horrible if, like, you swing with the Joy-Con normally in docked mode, but in handheld mode it turns into Infinity Blade. Remember Infinity Blade? And you're, like, swiping across the screen. That'd be horrible.
Oh yeah.
I'm honestly
dope though.
It was for a mobile game, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more curious how they would make it than I am excited for them to release Skyward Sword on Switch. But it feels inevitable that they'll release more Zelda games that are ports on Switch. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Has this sound ever made you have to pee? I've never listened to water and be like, oh my god, I have to pee. Like they
No,
say
it never
movies.
does, because peeing doesn't sound like that to me. Like, that sounds like you're pouring water into a glass. It doesn't sound like peeing to me.
I mean, like, when you have to pee really
There's a
bad,
slightly
like,
different sound
think
to
of
peeing.
waterfalls. It's like, that's never made me have to pee.
Also, I wouldn't want to piss a waterfall. That sounds painful and uncomfortable.
I don't know. I'm sure when your prostate's inflamed and you're 55 years old, you would be like so grateful to just pee a consistent stream. And if it were a waterfall, let it be.
Yeah, if it passes a drip, it's Niagara Falls to them, basically.
The saddest thing in the world is listening to old men trying to pee in the bathroom.
Do you know what's the saddest thing ever?
Ugh, God. It's so sad because I know that's going to be us one day.
That's uncomfortable.
That's everyone.
You know what's sad, Chad? Sad, Chad? All these YouTubers, or actually 2 YouTubers, that got kicked off of YouTube for posting videos on the Super Smash Bros. Leak that just came out.
Yeah, first of all.
And by sad, I mean I don't feel bad for them at all.
We're not going to talk about what was leaked.
I don't actually know what was leaked.
I actually did look into a lot of it and watch a lot of it.
I did.
It's not actually like a significant amount of information. You'd be like, oh my god!
I was going to say, like, after all the directs they've had going into language settings, like, what's the leak? Like, it's also in French. Like, what are they going to add?
So don't forget,
we know
everyone.
Everything about that game. What do they show off? I'm curious.
No, we're not going to talk about the leak.
But what do they? I want to know.
No.
Like, what kind of stuff was it?
No.
Not like the actual
it's
content.
not worth spoiling it for people because it's not really spoiler worthy.
That's what I kind of figured. It wasn't anything super important. But yeah, so these guys posted the content on YouTube, 2 of them on YouTube, and they both got banned from YouTube. Their channels got removed. It takes 3 strikes.
They get removed or they get copyright strikes?
They got copyright strikes, but after 3 copyright strikes, you get banned. They had 17 and 21 copyright strikes.
Well, that sounds like a whole lot of their problem.
Exactly. That's why I don't actually feel bad for them. It's an ethics question, basically. Like,
yeah.
You shouldn't be releasing this, and you did. There are consequences for that. They're trying to play it off as if they didn't do this, it would have been a death sentence for their channel. I'm like, but no one else is, so it's not. Like, you just have to be there first when it's available. And also just make sure your content's worth coming to. I don't know, like...
Dude, you know what content's worth coming to? Pornhub.
What? Pornhub? Oh my god, at work.
God, that was so clever.
That was so clever. But I will say this, at work... I work in a Best Buy store, not for Best Buy, but I'm a vendor with there. You know, you actually it's on the podcast. You know what I do.
Just say it.
I said many times in the podcast. I'm a brand ambassador for Oculus. Anyway, there was a guy with a Pornhub sweater on, and I'm like, that is bold.
They're trying to become a lifestyle brand.
I'm like, that is bold. Dude, to walk around the Pornhub, like, I know there's the whole thing of like all guys watch porn, that kind of thing.
All people.
But to go, yeah, I know. But like to wear a sweater is something else. It'd be like, hey everyone, by the way,
yeah,
this is what I'm into.
I watch this for 7.5 minutes every other day.
I do want to talk about this next story though, because this is actually huge. I was so surprised when this was announced. Nintendo's Creators Program is gone.
Yeah, will be gone.
Will be gone. March 20th, I think, next year. It's being replaced by just a set of guidelines, essentially.
Right.
But the big thing is that the 30% cut they take out of your advertising revenue, on top of the YouTube Partners Program cut as well, they're not taking it anymore, which is huge. That's great.
Right. For anyone who doesn't know, there was... I'm not too keen on or too up to date on a lot of the details of the program, but the Content Creators Program was something that was developed 3 years ago that said, hey, if you want to put Nintendo content, gameplay, anything on YouTube, we're going to, call a copyright strike unless you're part of our program, and we get part of your advertising revenue, and we'll block your videos if you don't. And so a lot of publications were just like, we're not going to stream Nintendo content because we're going to get next to nothing for it, or we'll get called out on it. And so it was a really controversial program that everyone hated. And it actually ended. There were quite a few independent people who were doing Nintendo type channels that were like, "Well, I can't stream Nintendo content anymore, and that is the focus of my YouTube channel."
Mm-hmm. Or they had to. They were forced as well to give Nintendo a 30% cut. Like they were forced into doing that as well. When you're already not making a lot of money off of YouTube, and your revenue went from 60% of the total to 40% of the total, that's huge. That's it ruins your channel
off of what is already fractions of a penny per view.
Exactly. Now, to be clear, a lot of the things that you just mentioned are still true. It just seems they're being looser about it. You don't have to like be a part of their program, but they're still not going to let you do a Let's Play. You can't do any Let's Play content.
You can still do Let's Plays, though, right?
No,
Let's Plays
you have to have
you playing the game.
Creative input. You have to have creative input or commentary over it. So you can do a Let's Play and talk over it, but you can't do just straight gameplay.
Yeah, I think that's implied with a Let's Play. Let's Play is like, hey, yeah, we're gonna get together, play the game, and show you our reactions and talk about it over it.
I guess.
Like just
I don't like those kind of Let's Play. I'd rather just watch straight gameplay. I don't like Let's Plays. So that's my bias. So that's why I think that way.
Well, that's why you wrote the wrong word then.
That's right. I wrote the wrong word. Yeah. So there's that aspect to it. There's also that you have to be in an approved monetization method. It basically means you have to be on a service that they approve of: Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and then there are some other ones that were not specific to the United States. Basically, I think that they're ensuring you don't sell the videos themselves.
Right.
Like you're not selling a 15-minute video of you playing Mario.
One other caveat that they did mention is that if you capture the video or the screenshot via a method that the Nintendo Switch is capable of doing, so like holding down the button for 15 seconds of video, then 30. That you don't have to, or 30 seconds of video, you don't have to worry about doing any of this stuff for that. You can monetize.
Yeah, you can just have no commentary or nothing over that gameplay at all. That's fine. I understand why they wouldn't want to have no commentary videos. I still don't see the harm in having
it's
that.
The game. It's the scene. It's the community. It's how people consume games now. Nintendo finally is like, you got to get with the program.
I think it's
just like the crossplay discussion. Like it's where gaming is going.
But why have any measure like this? Why even have an approved list of monetization like monetization methods? Still, they can't sell off an individual video even if they didn't have this guideline. Like I don't see what these guidelines are doing that normal copyright laws wouldn't already be protecting them from.
What these guidelines are really doing is probably protecting. Like they're not going to enforce these very much. But if they do come across like someone who has uploaded leaks to YouTube, they want to be in a position where like, hey, we do have these guidelines and now we are able to enforce them with legal action.
I think they could already do that though. Like if an iPhone were leaked ahead of time. I mean, didn't Apple try to sue Gizmodo over that? Like wasn't there legal action taken? I guess not, you can't for a journalist, but an individual. If an individual just had stolen property from Apple,
I don't know. But yeah, this basically just gives them guidelines to enforce if they needed to or wanted to, which sounds like with their banning of these people, well, they didn't ban them, they just copyright striked them. They are taken seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing something a little bit different this month for Barf. Normally we talk about Barf at the end of the month after you've played the game. Because the games we're playing this month are Game of the Year considerations, we're actually going to talk about them throughout the month a little bit.
Bits of barf, if you will.
Little bits of barf. So I played God of War this week. Chad played Hollow Knight this week. A little bit, it sounds like, not a whole lot. But I want to hear, before we get into that, I want to hear about Beat Saber, because I am excited about this game. I want to play more of this game. And Chad played a lot of it, I'm assuming.
Have you played any of it?
A little time, like one level. That was
my god. I've played. That's mostly what I played this week was Beat Saber. I had a feeling. This has gotten to a point where my roommate doesn't really play games.
Mm-hmm. Except Mortal Kombat on the Wii.
Right. The only game she owned for Wii was Mortal Kombat.
The worst console to get for Mortal Kombat.
And it's gotten to the point where when we've tried VR, she tried a couple of things in VR and she played Thumper for quite a while and she really liked that one. And she just hasn't really touched it at all since. And then this has gotten to the point where she's legit texting me, hey, I had a bad day at work. Can I come home and play Beat Saber? Like, it's that good that she's getting into it as well. And we're doing the thing where we're passing off the helmet back and forth. I've discovered new stuff in the campaign that makes it really, really cool. The PSVR exclusive campaign has extra challenges that we kind of mentioned last time. But there are more challenges that make it even more difficult. Like, you can only move your hands a total of 60 meters throughout the entire song. So you have to you have to have like T-Rex arms there and only moving your wrist to strike the things. And then there's like you have to have your hands move a minimum of 1,500. So you're like waving like a madman, swiping all these things to try to travel all that distance.
That's hysterical.
But I think my favorite of the modifiers that I've come across is you have to play this song on hard difficulty. You have to beat the level without failing, and you have to make a minimum of 3 misses and 3 bad cuts. So you have to screw up. Oh no, and it even took it even further one level. You had to make a minimum of screw ups, and you also had to have less than a certain number of combo. Like if you hit more than 28 notes in a row, you fail.
You must have to pay a very close attention to what you're doing in those.
It gets so. Not only are you just paying attention to not fuck up the song, but then you're like, oh shit, my combo meter's at 25, 26. Fuck, I gotta fuck up, and then you fuck up. Just to keep your combo counters lower. And then you're like, oh man, but that's only one of my few fuck-ups that I'm allowed. And then you also have to beat the song without you dying from all the fuck-ups. It's so cool. It's so good. It's such a nice like something I wish I saw in Guitar Hero.
Well, you'd also have to know the songs really well to know, okay, in this next segment, I know that I can miss one song here, and that will help with that sounds awesome. That sounds cool.
I think it also helps. There's only maybe 12 to 15 songs in it right now. They plan on releasing more, but I think that's definitely. I haven't wanted for new songs at all because.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Like I've played through all of them. I know at least once, but they're also not like songs that like. Oh man, it's Katy Perry's blah blah blah. So I could.
Well, they're mostly like electronic.
It's all electronic music.
That's usually better repetition. Electronic music.
But these challenges add an extra level to it where I'm like, I'm not sick of this song because I'm trying something different every single time I play it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Beat Saber, I played it for 9-10 hours. Sometimes I'll wake up a couple hours extra. I'll wake up at like 5:30 in the morning to go to the gym so that I have 2 hours between gym and work to play Beat Saber.
Whoa. You're really dedicated to this game.
It's good. It's good.
Well,
yeah. So
have you beaten Pokemon yet?
What?
Have you beaten Pokemon yet?
I've beat the Elite Four in Pokemon. I got Mewtwo, and then I beat Green, who is a rival trainer in the game. And my next thing will be going and getting some of these master trainers so that I can fight Red. And then I might go fight the gym leaders again, complete my Pokedex, and I think I'm done. I think I'm not going to do the whole...
You can fight gym leaders again?
What?
You can fight the gym leaders again?
Yeah, you can fight all the gym leaders again.
I didn't know
they're
that.
super high-powered.
I had no... Is that new to this game, or has that been in Pokemon games before? I've never heard of this before.
I think it was in a re-release, maybe, of one of them. When I read about it in this game, it seemed like it hinted at, like, oh, this returning feature from some other Pokemon games. I don't think it was ever in Red, Blue, and Yellow, but maybe it was in, like, Heart Gold and Soul Silver or something like that. I don't know.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
But that's also where you, obviously... Spoilers? ? Blue becomes the leader of the Viridian Gym after you beat Giovanni.
What?
So that's how you fight Blue.
Ruined it all for me. I was paying very close attention to the story of Pokemon, and I was trying to find out what was going to happen at the end, and you just ruined it for me.
Dude, you're dead now.
I didn't even think that would be a possibility. That rocked my world. What
Team
a twist.
Rocket, your world. And then I played Hollow Knight. I started it today.
Very cool.
Started in early. It's the 3rd of the month. So we're going to get it finished. You're
still the Forgotten Crossroads, probably, then.
You what?
You're definitely the Forgotten Crossroads still.
I don't know the names of anything, but I've beat one big guy. Got a relic of some sort. Yeah, with the hammer. And I'm in this wooded area now, and I am deep in this woods area. Like, I've been in that for a good half hour. You got past the opening area
pretty fast.
What?
You got past the first area pretty fast.
Did I?
Yeah.
So I'm in there. I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah.
Combat's kind of fun right now. I hope there are more RPG like equipment type elements to it. And I saw a screen in the inventory that it looks like I might be able to upgrade my needle or my pin or whatever the fuck he calls it.
Don't think more of like a Zelda game or like a Metroid game than like a Dark Souls in that sense, in terms of the RPG elements.
But I like it. I like the weight of everything, the weight of your character as you jump. I like when you get hit by something, it's just like you feel it because of the HD Rumble.
Did you just mention HD Rumble?
Yeah, I did.
Whoa.
I mentioned it elsewhere. I think. So I did. I also played. I'll talk about this in a second. So yes, back to Hollow Knight. I'm liking that. The combat's fun. I like that you, like Dark Souls, you have certain enemy types and you kind of learn their patterns and learn how to kill them. Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm hating so far, not hating, but I'm just like, oh god, the benches are not anywhere near close enough to each other. Either that or I'm missing a lot of benches, but I feel like I played for legit
you're
a
not.
half hour.
That is... Oh, you have no idea. Some of these benches are so far from where you need to go sometimes. Yeah. That is just part of the game.
But I mean, like, I get to a bench. Yeah. I swear to God, I was playing for like a half hour in this wooded area. I have no idea where I am. I don't, because I guess I haven't found a map for that area. I got the quill that says, oh, you'll write the map as you go, but no, fucking nope. But anyway, I got to this bench, and
this
I'm
is
like,
okay. This is how hard it is. It tells you nothing, and every little thing you'd expect from a game is something you have to find. Like, I won't ruin it for you, but yeah, that's just kind of like what it's like.
So I got to this bench, and I'm like, thank God I got to this bench, so that if I die, I can come back to it. But then I'm like, well, I've got all of this money. I have no idea how the fuck I'm going to get back to go spend it, because I'm super deep in this well of forest that, like, I don't even know what direction I would go to get back. And if I died and went back to that place, I have no idea how I'd get back to the forest place where I have no idea where anything is.
Yeah, that's kind of, for me, that was the magic of the game. The whole world feels very cohesive to me. We'll see how you feel about that. But felt very cohesive, and it just felt like you can get lost in this place. And then as you play it, it starts to become familiar.
Okay,
which I like.
That's my biggest like frustration right now. It's like, I understand that I'm going to buy a map from some guy if I fucking find him anywhere. Yeah, but yeah, so far,
cool.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, you're very early in the game, so we'll see how that turns.
I'm an hour into it, and it's
exactly
20, 30, 40-hour game.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this: definitely feel free to explore, and it's. I mean, I hate to compare it to Dark Souls because that's very, very common, but it's like Dark Souls. You have to go down a path and realize, oh my god, I got murdered down there. Not that way. You're just gonna keep going elsewhere, and as you
I'm just
start
going
doing
wherever
that,
I can.
Yeah, you just kind of go wherever you can, and the game just has a way of telling you, not here right now. It just does that. Go everywhere, but also go back. Go backwards a lot, I find, is very useful. You'll find little things that'll help you, yada, yada, yada. I'm not ruining anything, but...
Yeah, the only power-up I've gotten is the one that shoots your energy out. But I assume, based on ledges that I can't get to, I'll get like a double jump or something like that, or something that lets me jump higher or something. I mean,
it's a Metroidvania. You can imagine just from knowing that what kind of power-ups you're going to get. Yeah. So I'm curious to see how you feel about the game. Something lets me roll into a ball and
drop bombs and...
Just like that, yes.
But I want to say...
You get the Various suit eventually. The gravity suit. Yeah.
I'm enjoying the art style of it, too. I like that a lot.
Yes. I can't tell you my favorite things with the art style because I don't want to like tell you about things you haven't seen in the game yet, but I agree. It's such a gorgeous game. What do you think of the music? I know it's been very early on.
I feel like kind of like Super Metroid when we talked about it's very good at setting the atmosphere, but it's not like, oh my god, this music is incredible. I love this melody. And it's like, oh man, this is really fitting for where I am right now.
Yeah.
It's really good at setting the mood and the tone.
Well, I'm curious to see how your thoughts develop throughout the month, so we will return next week.
Yes. I have one more game I want to tell you that I played.
No, you've had enough,
I played enough. Nintendo Labo this week.
You did?
I was
on Tequila?
Yeah, we did a Labo episode of Tequila. I went over to Daniel's house with a girl named Kyle, and we all, on camera, so it's going to be a YouTube stream. It'll go up here probably sometime this week. But on camera, we build the piano from scratch. And
does it really take 4 hours?
Oh no. It took us maybe 45 minutes to an hour to build it.
Okay, I figured. I'm like, there's no way it takes 4 hours.
You do have to fold up every single little key and
you had 3 people to help out too.
Yeah, Kyle was reading instructions. We're goofing off being silly, and they're getting drunk. I'm drinking kombucha, and it's disgusting. And
so Is it worth it?
Oh, no. I mean, we got it assembled, and there were parts that legitimately blew my fucking mind. Like, if you watch...
Just in terms of assembly?
What?
Just in terms of assembly?
No, not assembly. I mean, assembly was like, whoa, man, that's a lot of assembly. Oh, man, that's kind of clever. But actually playing the piano...
Okay.
And some of the stuff that it's able to do with the cardboard and the little, like, reflective tape.
Because you are a musician, you know that stuff.
But things like you will, if you watch the stream, at least just watch the part where we finally start playing it afterwards. And there were parts where I'm like literally grabbing my face, going like, I can't believe how fucking amazing that is. Like, there's a part where you start playing the keyboard.
Or were you just drunk on kombucha?
I had 5 shots of kombucha, which is not I mean, there's very, 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 very little alcohol in it. But I was just high on being there with fun people. But
Daniel's good people.
There's a set, like, you turn a little cardboard gear and a different piece of reflective tape shines at the Joy-Con, and then as you play the piano, instead of playing sounds on the Switch, the other Joy-Con is vibrating on the table, and it's vibrating at the frequency that makes that pitch. So, like, we were playing Ode to Joy, and it's going bzz, 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 based on the vibrations of the HD Rumble and the Joy-Con, making different pitches on the table, instead of actually really cool. Audio coming out of it. It was fucking mind-blowing.
Are you now an HD Rumble evangelical now?
No, in fact, I can't wait to get an 8-bit controller with a D-pad that doesn't have HD Rumble at all. Just kidding. I don't want that. No, but it was really cool, really novel. I do see the value if you were to get the variety pack, which is what, $60, I think. That has 70, the piano, the fishing
it's like $70
rod.
and $80, I think.
Gotcha.
Is the pricing.
I think 80 was the robot, right? I don't know.
80 is the robot. Yeah.
But yeah, I could see just the joy that we got out of that hour and 15 as grown adult people with the piano. If you had that plus the other like 3 or 4 things that come in the variety pack, I could see how that would be a really great gift for a kid that they'd get their money's worth.
Well, if you all chipped in and bought Labo together, what would be like going out to a nicer place with 3 friends?
Yeah, there you go. Going out to see a movie in Chicago, that's like $12 to $15.
Yeah.
And
you
then
get a drink or something like that, or
drink,
popcorn.
And that's like another $20,000. And
you don't drink a lot. I can tell if you think that's what.
I just know that a lot of people are wasting their money on that drink. $20,000 can buy quite a few months' rent.
Quite a few months.
Yep.
Well,
so I played all of that. Holden, what did you play this week?
I do have one more question for you. Do you now know what I mean when I said Bampanada last week?
No.
Do you now know what that means? Oh, you need to go back and explore in that game because it's in the opening area.
I was listening for it too, and I was like, none of these people say bump banana.
Bump banana? That's not what she says. But anyway, I played God of War this week. That's all I played this week.
Oh shit!
Chad's like nervous to like.
Now,
does he hate it? Does he love it?
Here's where I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil this game for people who are listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we talk about this week by week then? Or do we do just like a separate spoiler section at the end of the month? Or do we just give like impressions of gameplay elements?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the story.
Okay.
I don't. I'm also not far enough in the game, I feel like, to talk about the story.
Okay.
I
feel like even the premise of the story I don't think is worth telling.
What was that?
Even I think the premise of the story that you find out in the first like 10 minutes, I don't think is worth spoiling.
Okay. I won't even get into that then.
Good.
I will say, and I think this is vague enough to say, so people know where I am in the game. I just got to the mountain. I was at the summit of the mountain. That should, that should tell people where I am in the game if they played the game before. This game is really damn impressive.
Yeah,
it is technically incredible. I mean, I don't know how you can describe it other than really epic. It just feels like you're basically going from like one epic area to other epic area. Even like the small areas of the game are huge in scale. Like there's I'm gonna have a hard time explaining some of this stuff because I played a chunk of the game when I first got it, and then I stopped playing it for a while, and now I came back to it and played. I guess like of what I've played, half of that was in the past week. So I can't remember like story like specifics of what the places are called, but it's like an area between dimensions or something like that. There's like a little bridge, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That area, it's like a small little space technically in the game, but when you get there, you're like, damn, that's right. This place is awesome.
Damn, that's right.
Because I think, if I remember right, this like door will open up, and then all of a sudden you see like that little bridge area, the water surrounding it, and like the mountains are in the background. It's a really cool moment to kind of walk into. But the one moment that sticks in my head, and actually I think it's even in the trailers, is when you get to the summit of the mountain, you open the doors after you kind of like been inside the mountain climbing up it, you open the doors, and then you see the peak. And it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I've been traveling this whole time. It's taken me way longer to get here than I thought it would at last. And you kind of got this sense of like journey and accomplishment as you get there. Part of that journey and accomplishment is just the combat's more difficult than I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah.
It's I die all the time, and I feel like I suck at video games when I'm playing this game, because
it's definitely something you have to think about every move that you make.
You do. I've found that I don't use my hammer that much, or my axe that much, the Leviathan axe. I just punch, because then you can build up the meter
right
to like rip them apart faster. So I just do that. I find that works the best. But then I also want to throw the axe around, so I still want to do that. But I'm like, what they do so successfully is make a few enemies intimidating. You can just have 3 enemies, and you're like, crap, this is not good. And maybe I'm just too early in the game, and that changes, and all of a sudden there are like tons of enemies around. But in earlier God of War games that I had played, you're surrounded by tons of enemies all the time. And it just feels like there's more like an onslaught of enemies coming after you. Here it feels like it's more nuanced than that, and they want you to kind of feel cool about a little battle scenario, as opposed to just like room, enemies. It still is like that, but it feels more thoughtful than that. It's definitely a room, enemies kind of game. I mean, it's an action game, that's what they're like. But it feels very thoughtful in terms of what kind of enemies they're throwing at you, like how each enemy will attack you. Like there's going back to the peak when you open the doors and you're kind of going across the what would you call it? It's like a little path across the snow until you get to the peak on the other side. There's the enemy who's super, super strong but slow, coupled with all these really kind of fast enemies at the same time. So you're kind of getting more enemies you fought at that point, more at one time, and coupled with this one guy who you have to take him out first because he's way stronger, but you can't get rid of the guys around you at the same time. So they just do a really good job of making you think strategically based on the enemy types they're throwing at you. I've been really impressed by that. It's a really, really well-made game. And that's where I start to kind of have a little bit of a... Not like it's bad, but it constantly reminds me it's a game.
Yeah, and it is. At some points, I think Greg Miller puts it, it's a video game-ass video game.
It's a video game-ass video game, yes. There are so many of those epic moments take me out of it being a game, and then when I do the same animation to stomp someone's face in every single time, that starts to take me out just a little bit. But what keeps me in is and I think you put it really well with Hollow Knight, the weight of everything in the combat keeps me in and keeps me ignoring those things. The weight of the combat is so solid. It's funny, it's that I feel like I would feel the weight of the combat even without vibrations in the controller.
Yeah. Just from the audio and the video, the way everything, all the models react.
Exactly. It also makes me realize, too, that I think the director, Corey Barlog, is that his name?
Yeah. I always accidentally call him Balrog, but it's Barlog.
Now I'm going to do that because you said that. That's very close. So he was saying how they didn't know this game was going to come through or not because it all just kind of came together in the end. And I'm like, how is that possible? Because everything comes together so well. Like, how do they not know it was... How are they uncertain it was going to be that tight at the end? Because it's really... all the mechanics are so tightly wound together.
Yeah, I think it's the most polished video game I think I've ever played.
Yeah, I would say.
How well everything is like all integrated and how smooth and kind of put together that experience is.
Yeah, I've never had any dropped frame moments, and I'm running on a PS4 regular.
I was going to ask, do you have an HDR TV, but not 4K TV, right? Or
HDR wasn't even a thing when this TV was purchased, so no.
Gotcha.
It's 720p.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so not looking great in the visual quality department. Not to the fault of God of War. God of War still makes the TV look amazing, which is a testament to God of War.
Yeah.
What was it getting at? The other thing is, I'm really confused in the game by the merchants and why I feel like I need to buy things. I feel no reason to buy anything in the game, to upgrade anything. I don't really know what I'm doing. And maybe I think it's just because of that gap in playing the game and then stopping and then resuming this week. But I think I might need to look online to understand that stuff a little bit better.
You will get to the point where it'll become necessary.
Okay, yeah.
Because you'll unlock like armor sets and stuff like that you're like, that's probably something I need to put on.
Yeah, I think I have... It's like something... I have like blue glove things or something like that. I don't even know what I have.
I mean, yeah, you'll eventually get to the point where you'll unlock like legendary and exotic armor. They're like, you can't do.
Okay, I haven't seen anything like that yet. So I've just been selling the armor and then realizing.
Yeah, most of the stuff you find on the ground, you can probably just sell.
Yeah, well, I then selling it and then I realized, I don't even have a need to buy anything, so I just have this money for no reason right now. But again, I'm still pretty early in the game. I get the sense that I'm like the first act story wise in the game. So. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, though. It's a really, really fantastic game. I'm
going to give you two, not pieces of advice, but two comments.
Yeah.
One, you're going to die a lot. I died a lot as well.
That makes me feel better, because I honestly was thinking, am I dying too much?
No, don't think you're terrible at video games. It's a tough game.
Yeah, well, the boss, they kept giving me hints, like, this is what you need to do. I'm like, I know I need to do. It's hard.
You can also adjust the difficulty level at any time.
I refuse. I won't do that.
It does not affect... I played on normal for everything except for the final Valkyrie. You'll figure out what a Valkyrie is soon.
Okay.
But the final Valkyrie, I was like, I fucking have to put this on easy in order to even stand a chance. And it still took me like 45 minutes of trying after that. But keep looking into like Atreus's abilities and your abilities. Mm-hmm. Right now, I was in the same place. I'm like, man, I don't really use the axe that much, or I don't even use Atreus that much. But eventually they will become staples of your combat, whether it's freezing an enemy with your axe or using Atreus to do certain things. Like
that's one. Finish your advice, then I'll go into.
So yeah, that's one thing. Right now, don't worry if you're like, man, I never use any of this stuff. There will come a time when you will start using it, or else you're gonna really fucking suck. And then the other one is, I would recommend. I did this about where you were. I made this change. Try turning off as many HUD elements as you can stand.
I honestly barely noticed the HUD. It really disappears already. But I will do that because
I would. Because I did that at the cinematic mode. I turned on just a couple of things where, like, if I got a notification about a certain item I picked up or a certain piece of lore or something like that, then I would leave it on. Mm-hmm. But for everything else, I left it off as much as I could because it really does. You kept saying it, constantly reminding me that it's a video game. That's one of the things that just makes you just completely get sucked in that experience like no other HUD-less experience has done. So try it.
I will do that. No, I liked playing Breath of the Wild without a HUD a lot.
Yeah.
So I probably feel this game will give me a similar kind of... yeah, you get the point. Yeah.
Yep. You had one more thing you want to say about it?
Oh yeah, so it seems like there are combos with the axe that I'm like missing on. Like I don't really know what I'm doing, but sometimes my axe will freeze people, as you say, and I don't know why I did that. Am I missing something?
If you throw it with the trigger,
yeah,
and it hits an enemy, they're frozen while it's in them until you recall it.
Well, that just happens naturally. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like when I'm just using my axe as a melee weapon.
Yeah.
Though I'll do like a special move or something like that. Like, what
you might have a hilt on it that has a chance to freeze them, or has cold damage.
Possibly.
Or you also might have...
If I get something and it seems like it's good and I see like my level thing goes up, level 2, and it says it's going, I'm like, oh cool, I'll add it then. I don't know what they do. I see the number goes up, so I say yes.
Some of the hilts have different elemental properties.
Okay.
So that might be the case. Or I don't think... Some of the moves, like the actual combos, attacks that you can learn, that might... I don't remember anything specifically freezing them. It might like add to your freeze damage. I don't remember them all freezing. Anyway, but yeah, I think probably check your hilt out.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
Let's check it out. The library. You what?
Actually, Microsoft first, then Fetch Quests.
Microsoft. We're gonna follow that with Fetch Quest next.
So we got two stories. These stories literally came out 15 minutes before we recorded. So not
we know
a
all the
whole lot.
information.
We know all the information. So let's start with the second story first. So Showtime has that Halo TV series they've been working on for a little while. Well, Rupert Wyatt, who was the director and executive producer, he has left, and apparently it's because of scheduling reasons.
Yeah. Because I don't want to schedule this shitty TV series into my life anymore.
I don't know. Rupert Wyatt said it was creatively rich and rewarding.
Yeah.
Which he was going to have to say because he wants...
Because they made him creatively rich in his wallet for not dissing it.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I don't care about this TV show. I don't want them to make it. But Rupert Wyatt leaving is kind of a big deal. He made... I'm pretty sure he made the new Planet of the Apes movies.
What?
I think he was involved in those.
What? Now I've got to IMDb it. IMPP. I go PP.
Please let me know. I'm pretty sure. While you're looking that up, though, I'll explain the next story because this is the bigger story. This is a rumor. The rumor is that Microsoft is going to buy another studio. That's not surprising. But what's surprising is that the studio is known for working with PlayStation. This comes from a leaker on Twitter, and he claims that Microsoft and the studio have been talking for a few months now. The studio is mid-sized. He says he's not going to name the studio specifically because it's early. It might not happen still. There's a potential for that, and he doesn't want to potentially ruin that deal by like having it get out in the public of what it is. But I'm really curious what this mid-sized studio could be. I just did a quick Google search for what second-party studios Sony's worked with, just meaning like a studio that makes games for Sony but isn't owned by Sony. Dream? So Quantic Dream is one of them. Insomniac is one of them. Kojima Studios is one of them. Wild Sheep Studios is one. And then technically From Software is one as well. Because From Software has worked with Bloodborne, but they're not necessarily... Because here's something, is that the tweet...
did Demon Souls, too.
Demon Souls as well, yeah. He didn't say that they've always made... The phrasing is weird. He says the studio has, this is a quote, historically worked with PlayStation a bit. And that it's those two parts, historically and a bit, are confusing to me. Because historically says they've been doing this for a while, and a bit says not that long. So I don't know what to make of that.
I think a bit is more like frequency.
Which would then mean From Software.
Yeah.
That like From Software would match. And then the other one that
Microsoft
would match...
Microsoft buys From Software? Jesus Christ.
Well, here's the thing is From Software showed off Sekiro at Microsoft's E3 event. Shakira, I know, I just said that. Because their hips don't lie. So, I think From Software might be a good potential for this, actually.
Well, yeah.
That'd be really interesting and a great catch. What a good studio to buy. Good catch. I mean, Shakira is a good catch. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh, my hips don't lie. I read... Two side notes. One, I read an interview once where she said, I'm pretty sure this is what it was. She said that when she records the English version of her songs, she doesn't actually know the words that she's saying. She just memorized the sounds in order to make the English words.
Really?
She doesn't speak English well enough. So she's like, oh, it sounds like this, so I'll repeat those sounds, and I guess that's the English version. Second,
I'm sure it's a case with a lot of Spanish-speaking, or really just any other language besides English.
Yeah. Rupert Wyatt did direct Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
I knew it. What did I say?
Which was...
I thought he directed the second one, not the first one.
No, he did the first one. It was not the best of the three.
It wasn't. The second one was the best of the three. Actually.
No, the third one was so fucking good.
The second one's amazing too, though. I've only seen the third one once.
They're all so good, but the third one is fucking great.
Back to the potential studios here. Wild Sheep Studios. I have like a itch that says this could be the studio as well. Again, I heard about this 15 minutes before we recorded. This has not been like vetted.
Also, side
Wild
note,
Sheep Studios. Yeah.
Sorry. Captain Marvel trailer just dropped literally right now. So after we finish this, we're going to watch it.
Oh, okay. I'd rather have the Avengers 4 trailer.
Go on.
But okay.
Go on. That's coming on Wednesday.
Yes, we'll talk about that. No, is it coming Wednesday? They officially said that?
Something Disney official came out today that said it was Wednesday somewhere.
Oh, because they're going to be at the Game Awards. I thought it'd be at
the Russo brothers will be at the Game Awards, yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll get to that in a second. So, Wild Sheep Studios is another studio that is second party to Sony. They're making that game called Wild. Do you remember this game? It hasn't come out yet.
Wild with an E at the end? Shown off at E3 twice, but in separate year, like 2 years apart?
Yeah, but it doesn't have an E at the end. It's just Wild. Just normal. Yeah, and it's you basically control animals and you're exploring the wild is kind of the point of that game. That game came from the creator of Rayman.
Everybody loves Rayman.
Everybody loves Rayman. That'd be amazing. No, of Rayman. So, which was a Sony, or at least I associate that game with Sony in the early years. Maybe it could be that studio as well. They haven't talked about Wild in a while. Maybe they need money to keep that game going, and Microsoft could buy them. So that'd be interesting. But I think From Software, that's my bet, is From Software.
That's an interesting little theory there. That could be huge.
It could be huge. It could be. I just don't think it's Insomniac. I just don't see it. Insomniac is so good on their own. I guess From Software is so good on their own as well. But Insomniac is really tight with Sony. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, they did the Sunset Overdrive, yeah.
Yeah, but then everything else they've done has been Sony. Resistance, Ratchet and Clank's, whatchamacallit, Spider-Man.
I think what's interesting is when they did Sunset Overdrive, the reason that they chose not to make like a Sony first party thing is because they wanted to keep the rights to they wanted to make an IP that was theirs. And then it's interesting that they just went straight back to Spider-Man. And then they might be bought by Microsoft. So maybe they're like, hey, we tried it and we fucking hated it.
Yeah, exactly. Also, too, Spider-Man, property that's not theirs, studio, a company that's like Marvel
but when
and
Marvel
Sony,
Games approaches you and says, hey, pick a superhero.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
We're not going to turn that down.
Exactly, yeah. All right. Moving on. I just realized I had a typo here, which is really great. I meant to say German retailer, and I wrote Germain retailer.
Germain Clement.
So we'll just fix that. So first fetch quest here is that there's a German retailer's listing the Assassin's Creed compilation for Nintendo Switch. Which compilation that could be, I have no idea.
I assume it's the Ezio collection.
Probably.
The PS3 games, Xbox 360 games they released 2 years ago.
Would make the most sense, I would say.
PlayStation Plus free games for December are a big old pile of farts.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of these, minus Paper Please.
There's Papers, Please on PS Vita. There's Iconoclasts, which I've heard. I don't have any idea what it is, but I remember hearing somewhere that it's good. Mm-hmm. Steins Gate is coming to PS3. Steriden is on PS3. Onrush is on PS4. And Soma is on PS4. So
it's a testament that the games we know of are on the bottom of the list and not the highlight PS4 games.
The games we know of were on the Vita side. So
exactly. That says something.
I mean, I guess we had two good months in a row, so
we did. We've actually had a really good year for PS Plus games.
Yeah.
Bloodborne was on there this year.
That's right.
That was the best month.
Bloodborne. Elder Scrolls Blades, the smartphone game from Bethesda, has been delayed until 2019. Hopefully, so that they can fix all the fuck-ups with Fallout 76.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Wow.
Speaking of 2019, Diablo projects will be announced in 2019. So Blizzard said within the next year we will have more Diablo projects announced.
So all y'all who had your panties in a wad over the Diablo mobile game, you're going to get yours.
You're going to get yours.
There's a Resident Evil 2 remake demo coming in December? What?
Apparently. It's a rumor. I think this will be announced during the Game Awards. They'll be like, new trailer, demo available today.
Dude, I would play that demo. 100%.
I would absolutely play that demo.
And then I'm going to play that game.
That rumor comes from a screenshot of the menu screen. that was on Twitter, which has now been taken down. But the only thing I've seen of it is someone saying it looked pretty legit, which
all right.
could mean anything. So
cool. And then
we'll
finally,
see.
Firewatch was announced for Nintendo Switch a while ago. It now has a release date coming in 2 weeks on December 17th. It's a good
perfect
game.
time for a game to come out, December 17th.
Yeah.
Just to get drowned in all the games that just came out.
Well, I mean, it's a game that a lot of people have already played, so it's not like
Yeah.
it's going to come out and smash numbers. And
I know, but you'd think they'd still want to release their game at an opportune time, regardless.
I don't think so. I think anyone who wants to pick up that game would pick it up regardless of when it came out.
Okay, well, Chad, that's unimportant. Do you want what is important? Do you know what's
What?
the most important story of this entire week, Chad?
That Cyberpunk 2077 has buildings?
Yes. With lots of activities. I want to say something before we start talking about this. There have been a lot of articles ever since Cyberpunk 2077 was announced of just random bullshit in the game. Like, hacking is going to be like this in Cyberpunk. And I just ignored all of them because
I've seen almost nothing. I had no idea all that was out there.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of stuff. It's nothing official. It's just like, someone asked them a question and they said this. This is one of those stories, but I've been ignoring them. But this one's important to me because this one, how do you put it? When I heard it was a cyberpunk world and that you have all these buildings, I'm like, cool, that sounds great. Urban environments and open world games generally mean buildings you can't go into. And apparently these buildings you can go into and there's things for you to do. And I'm like, that is a big problem that open world games have had. I'm curious as to the extent of which you can explore these buildings. They've said that there are, how do they put it? Where was it? I'll just read what he said. So someone asked how big the world's going to be. And they responded on Facebook and said, Night City holds 6 districts, but I can't give you an exact number in square meters because no one counted this yet. Also, this is tricky for an urban environment. Night City has lots of buildings, and these buildings have floors. You can have 120 square meters of space, technically taking up 60 meters squared of space in a tall building, and we will technically, I read the same line twice, and we will have many of them explorable. That's what I was wondering, is the many of them explorable? I'll come back to this. Each floor can house a lot of activities, floors stack. The Witcher 3 was, in a way, much flatter. The activities were scattered. Here, the world can be huge, but it can be huge upwards or downwards. The many buildings are explorable. Does many mean, and the percentage of all the buildings there, a large percentage of them are explorable, or does it mean like many as in there's a lot of buildings just generally speaking that you can explore in the game? I'm curious to what extent that's going to be. Like even in Red Dead Redemption, you'll see a shed in the middle of nowhere and you can't walk into it because they can't fill something in every single building. So I'm curious what that's going to look like. Sucks. It's a terrible game. I know this is like a nitpicky like small thing to talk about, but I was very curious what buildings were going to be like in Cyberpunk 2077, so it's cool to hear that there will be things that are happening in them.
And there's going to
Chad
be
was like rolling his eyes and bored the entire
time.
You were bored that entire time, face it.
No, I had literally already read that quote today, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then you read it again, and I was like, yeah, still cool.
Yeah, but our audience hadn't heard it yet today, so.
I know, that's why it's still cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah. I'm excited about buildings. Let's move on.
Bob the Builder, can we build it? Rocksteady can't build a Superman game.
Ooh. Well, they can. They're just choosing not to, apparently.
We don't know if that's their choice. Anyway, there were a lot of rumors going around that Rocksteady...
DC did not approach them and say, pick a superhero. Well, they did.
There's a listing on a site called Game System Requirements that was also... has some clout to it because they also had Devil May Cry 5 on Game System Requirements listed a month before its reveal for a game called Superman World's Finest.
Good name. That's a good name.
Apparently that is also like the name of like the descriptor for the Justice League, like the world's finest heroes. Like, Avengers are Earth's mightiest heroes.
Yeah.
World's finest like DC's line of heroes. Anyway. So we might be seeing whatever that game is pretty soon here. We do have a lot of announcements coming up at the Game Awards, apparently more than have ever been, if you're reading Jeff Keighley's Twitter.
We'll talk about that. I'm very excited about that.
Everyone was so excited that it might be a Rocksteady Superman game, and Rocksteady responded on Twitter saying, Looking forward to the Game Awards this year. We're still hard at work on our development bunker, so don't expect an announcement from Rocksteady Games. When it's ready to show, you'll be the first to know. Spoiler, it's not Superman.
We do know they're working on a next-gen game. The job listing from, I think, a month ago or so was they're working on a next-gen game. They wouldn't have announced anything at the Game Awards if it's a next-gen game.
I think the next-gen you mean, though, is the second-generation Steam box.
Oh, right. Of
Yeah.
course. And that's going to be announced at the Game Awards.
No, that's going to be announced at the Kind of Funny Game Showcase.
No.
All right. Now, this one I think is so fucking stupid.
Thank you. I was just going to say this is the stupidest story of the week.
So stupid. Black Panther writer Cole? Oh, his whole name is Joe Robert Cole.
Yeah.
To script Call of Duty movie sequel. And I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. When was the first Call of Duty movie? Well, it hasn't started filming yet. And in fact, they haven't cast it yet. But they're writing the sequel to it right now.
What a joke.
Yeah. That's so stupid.
I mean, here's the thing, too, is that's a good screenwriter. Black Panther was a very well-written movie.
Yeah.
They're clearly putting care into who they're picking, but they're not putting care into how they're implementing these movies, it sounds like.
Nope.
I have a prediction. The prediction is that once the Pokemon movie comes out and proves that you can have a good Pokemon movie when you put a good video game movie when you put care into it, they're going to delay these Call of Duty movies to make them actually good. Because I have no faith that these are going to be good movies. I have none whatsoever.
No, here's what's going to happen. Game Awards. Call of Duty Shadow drops on Twitch. You can watch it.
No. Even better than that. It is a Crackle exclusive movie.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm getting a real big clue right now. That's a South Park reference. You wouldn't get it.
I wouldn't know.
The Hardy Boys, they get clues, but they're really erections.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a big clue over there. GameStop has reported a loss of nearly $500,000 in their third quarter.
Ooh, are you surprised, Chad?
No, because brick and mortar retail for video games is a dumb thing. Buy everything digitally.
What's interesting
some
is
interesting
that...
things came out of it, though.
Go for
you
it.
say it. You said the word interesting first.
Okay. So there were increases in sales. So they had a 10% increase in new software sales, like new games being bought. They had a 12% increase in hardware sales, which they deemed was because of PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. And then accessories saw a 32% increase. So despite all of that, what caused them to lose $500,000, it looks like, is a 13% decrease in used game sales, which is where they get most of their money from. I think there's more to it than that. But for them to lose their most profitable business to that extent is surprising. Actually, yeah. I'm curious what caused that. Because new game sales went up. It was just the used games that went down.
But they make so much more money off used game sales.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Do they? GameStop does not price match, right?
I do not think so.
So it's not like somebody like, oh man, Spider-Man's $30 at Best Buy, and then go in there and get it at GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, Best Buy will do that.
Yeah,
I'd imagine. But yeah, I don't know what happened there, because is it pre-orders for games that are causing people to buy more new games, but not pre-owned games? Like, I'm just is it just the fact that like you had such big games like Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption 2 and like that kind of like Smash Bros coming out, and that led to more pre-orders because those are really big games people are waiting for? I don't know.
I think this has been a really fucking great year for games.
God of War as well, Pokemon.
Yeah. And just like people want to play those and be part of the conversation right when it happens.
Yeah, so that would make sense. I'm also curious how much they're losing because they invest in stupid collectibles. Have you gone into a GameStop recently?
#ThinkGeek.
Have you gone to a GameStop at all recently?
Only to pick up, like, when Fez won the $20, whatever, I had to go get a Steam gift card there. I think that was it.
It feels like the stores, like a quarter of the stores are collectibles. Like action figures, like mugs, that kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
But who buys that shit? Nobody. I did a holiday gig at a GameStop last year, and I never saw people buy that stuff, ever. but it's occupying a quarter of the space in at least the store that I was in. They got to be losing money on that. There's no way.
Think Geek.
Last story before we go to the Game Awards stuff. There's a leak on Reddit. It was Reddit. Yeah, it was Reddit. From the weirdest Reddit user, by the way. His name is literally XYZSTVABC. I was trying to pronounce it and figure out what it was, and I'm like, oh no, it's just like.
Side note, you know the stupid Pikachu meme that's going around with Pikachu's surprised face?
No.
What?
No. I haven't been on Reddit. I've been on Twitter. I do homework. I do stuff for the podcast, and I read and I go to work. That's all I do.
Everywhere. It's not even just Pokemon people. Everyone's using this Pikachu surprise face for like
this.
stupid things. Like,
send this to
I
me.
stubbed my toe. My toe is broken. What? Or I dropped my ice cream. There's ice cream on the ground. What? Those are all not clever or actual examples. But anyway, one of them
I really have a clear idea what's happening now, Chad. Thank you.
Did you hear the story of the girl whose name is ABCDE, pronounced Absidy?
Absidy?
And the United Airlines hostess who laughed at her and made fun of her.
Man, airlines can't get a break.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was a big news story this week. You're not going to get any of this, and you're making me explain it way too much. Anyway, there was a meme, and it says, "Mom names kid ABCDE. Kid gets made fun of. Mom," and then it shows the surprised Pikachu face. You fucked that up, Holden. You fucked that whole thing up.
How did I fuck that up?
I can't believe you. I can't believe you haven't seen this yet.
You did actually. I have to say, you did a really good job explaining that because I totally got that joke. Still, props, because it's hard to explain a joke like that.
You haven't seen that Pikachu face?
I've never seen that Pikachu face.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I literally typed "surprised" into Google, and the first three things were surprise Pikachu meme.
I don't have time, Chad. I don't have time for the internet.
Like, here's another one. Me. I don't need to write that down. I'll remember it. Also me. Surprised when I forget it.
That's really funny. That's good. Okay. So speaking of XYZSTVABC.
Oh, that's right. That's why we're talking about that.
Yeah. So there's Reddit user XYZSTVABC who claimed that he was at a marketing presentation at Disney and saw their 2019 plans for Star Wars, which included Jedi Fallen Order, the game from Respawn. Not us, Respawn Entertainment.
Easy to confuse
the
game
studio.
Two.
Very easy to confuse the two. We're equally talented.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what it is. So
we make the same amount of money, too. So. We make a negative money every month.
So the game takes place apparently 5 years after Revenge of the Sith and follows a Jedi Padawan who survived Order 66, which is basically when they killed the Jedi initially. And they're being hunted. So it's just about Jedi that are being hunted is kind of what it sounds like. Which I think is what they said during the E3 event.
I think so,
right?
yeah.
So this isn't really much of a leak, but I guess the bigger part is there's another confirmation that's probably coming next year.
Yeah.
Which would make sense.
Woo!
So, yay. Let's talk about the Game Awards. I want to talk about the Game Awards.
Yes, main quest! So we're going to we're going to go through and talk about our predictions for the Game Awards. We're going to go through each category and talk about who we think is going to win. And we have a lot of like rumored things that we'll kind of discuss.
Yes.
About it.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with these little rumory thingies.
Okay.
And then we'll go into the predictions, and then we'll wrap up with our
You mentioned one of them already. With what Jeff Keighley said.
That was the Avengers?
Oh, no, not that, but I was going to talk about that. Just it being the biggest in terms of announcements, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently there are going to be 10 games that are announced. Not like that we haven't heard of before that'll be announced at this event. So I'm very curious what that's going to look like. Let's get our expectations right, though. A lot of these could be like Accounting Plus and games like that.
God, that was such a good game.
It is a good game, but it's not like, don't expect this to be, Zelda's going to be announced. Nothing. I don't think we're going to see a lot of things to that extent.
Yeah.
Possibly. So one thing is Cyberpunk 2077 is not going to be at the Game Awards. Not surprising. They don't need it.
We also know Rocksteady's not going to be there, thanks to their tweet about Superman.
Yes. Apparently, Mortal Kombat 11 could be revealed at the Game Awards.
That's about time for that game.
Yeah, it is.
Mortal Kombat 10 came out 2014? 2015? 2014, I think?
Well, there was also Mortal Kombat XL, right? When was that?
I think that's just like the Game of the Year edition.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think that's what it was, yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Nintendo apparently has something special planned for the Game Awards. I think that's Metroid.
Everyone gets herpes.
That's what it is.
We're going to have a line where Reggie Fils-Aimé kisses each and every one of you. And then at the end he goes, by the way, I have herpes.
I don't think that's what's going to happen. They're a family-friendly company, so I don't think so. But I think Metroid could be it. I think Metroid is what they're going to announce. That's their big thing. But we'll see.
I agree with you. I think we've talked about this a couple times. Either Metroid or Bayonetta 3. Maybe both.
We'll see. I don't know. It's this random thought that popped in my head. Probably not going to happen, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. We keep hearing rumors of Odyssey DLC. It'd be pretty awesome if they just dropped Odyssey DLC at the Game Awards, just like they dropped it last year for Breath of the Wild.
Oh, Mario Odyssey. I was thinking Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I was like, they just dropped DLC this week.
Oh, yeah. No, Super Mario Odyssey, yeah.
Gotcha.
That'd be cool. That's a wild card, random guess. Probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so Alien Blackout, which we talked about last week, that apparently might get announced at the Game Awards. Officially, there will be a new Rage 2 trailer. That is official. And then BioWare says that, they said last month, within the past week, but technically in November, they said, next month we'll hear more about the next Dragon Age game. Probably going to talk about that during the Game Awards. So I'm going to go ahead and count that as like an official, we will see Dragon Age at the Game Awards. We've got one more as well. This one actually came today. Jeff Keighley tweeted, Thursday during the Game Awards, don't miss a Fortnite announcement and world premiere from Epic's Donald Mustard. Fortnite announcement and world premiere from Donald Mustard. And then he says, streaming live at 9 p.m., blah, blah, blah. And keep your game close. # worlds will change. And then Epic Games tweeted in response to that, Jeff Keighley's not talking about Fortnite Season 7. So it's something aside from some new season of Fortnite is being announced on Thursday. From Epic Games. From Epic Games, yeah. And, do you have a theory? Well, they had the Thanos DLC. Mm-hmm. Not DLC, but like timed event. Yeah. We know the Russo brothers are going to be there. Mm-hmm. What if we have like Iron Man? What if you could play as the Avengers in this game? I'm going to say no. No? Because Eidos Montreal is already working on an Avengers game. They've announced it. Oh, Crystal Dynamics. Sorry. It's Crystal Dynamics, yeah. So, Spider-Man's been in 2 games before. That game was announced in 2017. And I'm pretty sure this is one of the games that like Marvel is heavily involved in too. So I think that Marvel wouldn't have 2 Avengers games. No. I looked it up for the podcast. I know. Yeah. I know anyway, it's official. We'll find out tomorrow, and we'll both have a surprise Pikachu face on. Yes, that won't be one of the new game announcements though, because they've already announced an Avengers game. There's even a trailer for it. So. Which I didn't even a trailer for the Avengers game? There's a trailer for it. It's just like a cinematic like thing. It's not. I don't think there's even been that. There has been. I saw it today. I think you're a lying whore. I was on their website. I've decided you're a lying whore already. There's no coming back. I was very surprised to see a trailer though. I didn't expect that because I feel like more people would be talking about it if that were the case. Maybe it's because it was made by the same people who made Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and that's why no one's excited about it, because we hated that game. Yeah. You ready to talk about these predictions? Really quickly, I just wanted to run through my predictions for what I expect to see there for trailers. Okay. One, I'm going to say right now it's not going to be there. Bloodborne 2 is not going to be at the Game Awards. Don't expect it. Don't get your hopes up. No, we already talked about it. PS5 launch title. Not even that. Just they want to release Shakira. They have to announce Shakira next year. Shakira. So if they want to focus on Shakira, and if they focus on Shakira, they can't talk about Bloodborne 2 yet. So it's all about those hips. So here are some trailers I think we're going to see. Metroid we already said.
Yep.
Because Sony is not doing PSX, we're going to see Ghost of Tsushima or Death Stranding or something like that. It'll probably be Death Stranding because Kojima is really good friends with Jeff Keighley.
Right.
We're probably going to see a new Anthem trailer. We're probably going to see a Crackdown 3 trailer. Like I said earlier, we'll see a new trailer for Resident Evil 2 Remake because they'll announce the demo at the same time. A new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer will be there, I think.
Another Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer?
Yes. Or they'll just show the same trailer. They'll show the same trailer again, at least. It'll have a presence, is what I'm saying. And then there's just going to be more Warframe trailers because last year Warframe was all over the Game Awards.
Well, that was the student projects, right? They made students or community members could make trailers or gameplay videos. Yeah,
but they still had to pay for marketing to have the time at the Game Awards.
And it just came out on Switch, so you know they're going to be pushing it.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's get into the predictions now.
Cool. One thing I want to be upfront about the way that these nominees and votes are done. A lot of times when people say, "Oh man, they're not going to give Game of the Year to this game, so they're going to give it the nod in Best Action Game or something like that," or this game didn't win Best Indie, so maybe it'll win Best Debut Indie Game. Mm-hmm. That's not how the votes for Game Awards are done. They're done. It's not a panel of people that come together and vote specifically as a group. It's a bunch of outlets, and they all send in their votes individually, and the votes come in from there. So just because something won something else, they're not going to give a nod to something else. So keep that in mind as you're voting. Obviously, if that was the case, we would have seen Horizon Zero Dawn win something last year. But it won nothing. Not a single award.
As I was doing my predictions, I realized I think that'll be the case for another game as well.
Spider-Man.
I actually was not thinking Spider-Man.
No?
But
I think Spider-Man might win one thing.
It is also true of Spider-Man. If my predictions are 100% accurate, which, let's be honest, they definitely will be, so...
So let's get right up front and say we know nothing about esports. So we're not even going to comment on esports.
Yep.
But Holden, you did want to make a prediction about, what was it? Content Creator of the Year. So Content Creator of the Year, we have 5 nominees. Dr. Lupo, Myth, Ninja, Pokimane, and Willy Rex.
I actually have heard of Pokimane. But Ninja, I'm predicting Ninja just because he's been in the media all over the place.
Yeah. Also, he's the only one on that list that I know. So,
yep.
Boom. We both predict Ninja. Moving on. Holden, what's the next one we're looking at?
Best debut indie game. We have Donut County.
Hold on. What does that mean?
Oh, is recognizing a new independent studio that released its first game in 2018. This is selected by fans, not by the journalists and publications.
I had no idea some of these games released this year were these companies' first games.
Yeah, same here. Moss, that surprised me. So Moss is one of them. Florence, Donut County, The Messenger, and is it Yoku's Island Express?
Yep.
What do you pick, Chad?
I think The Messenger is going to win. There has been so much talk about that game.
I haven't heard much talk about that.
For the record, we are saying what we think is going to win, not what our personal choice would be.
Yes.
Yeah, Messenger, when it came out, everyone at IGN, GameSpot, Kind of Funny, everyone was all up this game. This is a game that switches between 8-bit and 16-bit as you go.
Yes, that's right.
I actually have it on my Switch. I just haven't ever opened it up yet. But yeah, I think that's a hard one. In my brain, I said, "Oh, you know what, Moss," but also Moss will win a VR one. I was like, "No, that's not the way this works." Florence is also fantastic, but
I said Florence because I remember a lot of people thinking about Florence. But I think you make a really good point about The Messenger. But because I don't want to pick the same thing as you to make it interesting, I'm going to say Florence still. But I know now that you've said it, I know you're right. So I'm going to lose that one. Next one.
Right. Next one, we have best No, we're not going to talk about that because we don't know anything about student games.
Yeah.
Best multiplayer game. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Destiny 2 Forsaken.
I think Blops. I don't know why I just laugh whenever I hear that. It's so stupid. Here, keep going. Sorry.
Fortnite, Monster Hunter World, and Sea of Thieves. This one's tough.
It is.
I think it's going to come down to Fortnite and COD Blops 4. But I think COD Blops 4 is going to win because it's taken the Fortnite PUBG thing and turned it into an incredibly polished shooter experience, like the best first-person shooter experience version of that new game mode that everyone's obsessed with. And is doing it well.
Do I want though? I still hear people talk about Fortnite nonstop, and I don't hear people talk about Blops 4.
Fortnite is still the most popular thing on the planet.
So you're picking Blops.
But I think Blops is the best of that. I think Blops is more polished, has more variety, and is a stronger multiplayer game than Fortnite is, despite Fortnite being more popular. Obviously, because it's free.
Yeah. Do you want to skip sports racing? I chose Fortnite, by the way.
Yeah, let's skip it, because really, there's some soccer in there, and we're in America.
Yeah. Best strategy game. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. The Banner Saga 3, Battletech, Frostpunk, Into the Breach, and Valkyria Chronicles 4. Chad, what do you got for us?
So I hear a lot about Frostpunk, but also people love the shit out of Banner Saga 3. Valkyria Chronicles, I feel like, came and went, and a lot of people harken it back to, like, basically Valkyria Chronicles 1, but remade from a different point of view. So I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess Frostpunk.
Frostpunk? All right.
Yeah.
I picked Into the Breach because it's the one that I've heard the most discussion about.
Great. Yeah. Best family game. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. This is the only award Mario Odyssey won last year, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
God damn it. That game was so good. Mario Tennis Aces, Nintendo Labo, Overcooked 2, Starlink Battle for Atlas, Super Mario Party. Best game appropriate for family play. Having had hands-on time with all of these except for Starlink, I'm torn between Labo and Super Mario Party as to what they'll pick. I'm gonna say they're gonna pick Labo because it was so revolutionary and kind of taps into that STEM field.
I was thinking the same thing, but then I thought, which one was good and which one did people like playing? And the only one I can think of that really met that is Overcooked 2.
Oh, you think enough of these game outlets
I
played
have
enough of Overcooked 2?
Absolutely.
I mean, to call it best family game? I feel like enough of them played it and said, oh yeah, this is just more Overcooked, which was great, but I don't think enough of them walked away saying, that's the best family game this year. But then I guess I can't say that about any of these.
Best. Yeah, like none of these are like Mario Tennis Aces. Nintendo Labo. It was fun to make it, and then after that, you're going to play piano with your family? Like, really? You're going to do that? Overcooked 2, you're going to play with your family all the time. Starlink Battle for Atlas. I kind of view that more as like a single player, like, I don't know. I don't consider it as a contender. And then Super Mario Party, again, like it's just Super Mario Party. You can say the same thing about Overcooked you said about Super Mario Party.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think of these here, Nintendo Labo, Overcooked 2 offers the best family gaming experience. I've listened to the Nintendo Voice Chat podcast a lot. I know it's a very limited selection. It's not like that's the entire gaming industry right there, but they talked about that game a lot. They love Overcooked 2. It seems like the kind of game that, like, yeah, they're not talking about it all the time, but they all love.
God,
and I also too. I just can't see someone not liking this game and loving this game as much as I do. So
yeah,
and you can only play with your family, really, or people close like with you. I mean, it's a family game. It's a family game, Chad. It's gonna win.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I think I'm gonna stick with Labo though.
You're wrong. You're so wrong.
I'm not wrong. If they vote for it, they're wrong.
Correct answer. That was a good answer. All right. Best fighting game. The best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. Chad, is it going to be BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle? Is it going to be Dragon Ball FighterZ? Is it going to be Soul Calibur 6? Or is it going to be Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition? I don't care. I didn't pick one. What did you pick?
This is going to be the year... This was the year of Dragon Ball FighterZ. This game had so much goodwill and good press around it, and when it came out, people were excited about it, and it was well reviewed, well accepted. Versus Soul Calibur 6, that was kind of mixed. Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition, no one's really been into 5. BlazBlue has always just been it. BlazBlue. But no, Dragon Ball FighterZ was like legit had its moment this year. And it fucking looked like the anime, so.
And we'll find out that, not if, but that you were wrong on Thursday. So,
what did you choose?
Oh, I don't care. I didn't pick one.
Oh my god!
I know nothing about fighting games.
Best role-playing game. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. We have Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Monster Hunter World, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, Octopath Traveler, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Monster Hunter World.
Really? You think it's for role-playing?
Yes, I do. Because Dragon Quest was not a super well-received RPG. Ni no Kuni was seen as, it wasn't as good as the original one. Octopath, the story was criticized a lot. And what the fuck is Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire?
Oh, people love Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, but
it's Obsidian.
But PC gamers.
Yeah, it's one of those freaking PC gamers. Fucking Fez.
I think it's Monster Hunter World. I honestly don't think it's a competition. I can't see it going any other way.
I think they're gonna pick Octopath Traveler just because I think Monster Hunter World belongs in a different category. I think it is actually in another category up here later.
It is. It's in a few categories.
But yeah, I feel like it fits better other than role playing. I don't feel like that's the best role playing game that we had this year.
It's a role playing game. It's in the role playing game category.
The only other category I'm just looking through, and the only other category is Game of the Year.
Oh, interesting. See, therefore, it's not an adventure game. It's not an action game.
I'm gonna keep it with what did I say? Octopath? Yeah, I'm gonna keep that.
No, you definitely said Ni no Kuni.
Shut up! We have to differ in our opinions, so one of us can win.
I'm kidding. I wrote down Octopath.
And I have to win.
Best action adventure game. For the best action adventure game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, all the puzzle solving in Red Dead Redemption 2. So much puzzle solving. Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I think Red Dead Redemption 2 had the best traversal because it was so slow.
Yeah, honestly, I looked at this and I'm like, well, not Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a very slow-paced game compared to these other ones. Like, it's not Red Dead Redemption 2.
The best action-adventure game, I think, is God of War. However, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, honestly, Spider-Man blew that out of the water. I mean, God of War has amazing combat, but it's really light on puzzles, and the puzzles that are there are pretty simple, and traversal is not really a big focus. But Spider-Man, fucking, that describes that to a T.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Spider-Man is going to win that one, and it might be the only one it wins.
I think God of War is going to take this one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Pretty convinced of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Next category, best action game. For the best game in the action genre focused on combat. Call of Duty Blops 4, Dead Cells, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Far Cry 5, Mega Man 11. Holden, you specifically did not put Dead Cells in your leaderboards for August because you said, no, I'm going to play this. Did you, in fact, play this?
I did not. I did not. Shocker. Really
I know everybody fucking was all over that game for like 2 months.
Yeah, I actually put Dead Cells as my prediction for this one.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I know that's... I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get it. But I feel like, I don't know, it's like, is Call of Duty going to win the best action game of the year? Like, I don't know. That seems like a stretch to me. It's the same game every year. I am also critical of that series because I don't play that series.
Yeah.
Far Cry 5, maybe. But I don't know, it's been so long since that came out. Destiny 2, that's an expansion pack. That's not a new game. And then did Mega Man 11, wasn't that received kind of meh?
I honestly totally forgot that even came out.
Yeah.
Like, when it was on this list, I was like, did that come out? Oh, yeah, I guess it came out.
But people loved Dead Cells.
Yeah. And I guess Call of Duty Black Ops 4, if it had a single-player campaign, maybe I would consider it more for this category. But I think it just belongs in the multiplayer category, and that's it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think I agree with you, Dead Cells.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised we agree on this. So far, this is the only thing we've agreed on. And it's actually a pretty odd choice. I think we can both agree on that. Pretty
odd choice. Oh, man, this next category is fucking... Yes.
Oh, I have a clear answer for this one. Best VR AR game for the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. Is it going to be Astrobot Rescue Mission? Is it going to be Beat Saber, Firewall Zero Hour, Moss, or Tetris Effect?
What a fucking year for PlayStation VR.
Beat Saber.
3 of these games are PlayStation VR exclusive. One of them was for a while, and Beat Saber just came to it with an exclusive campaign.
It's Beat Saber. It's going to be Beat Saber.
Oh, no, I don't think it is.
I think it is.
Beat Saber, yes, is my favorite game in PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
However, I think it's going to come down to Tetris Effect because everyone's been all up that game's ass, and then they're like saying it's life-changing if you play it in VR.
Mm-hmm.
And then Astrobot. I think those are the two it's going to come down to. But I think Tetris Effect is going to win it.
You think?
I think so.
All right.
I have not personally... That's the only one of these 4 that I have not played.
I can't see you playing that game.
But I don't like puzzles. I don't like Tetris.
Yeah.
But the way people talk about this game is like it legit could be... Like people are saying this could legit have a Tetris Game of the Year. Not just VR Game of the Year, but Tetris could win Game of the Year from this thing in VR.
I just want to say, you didn't deny what I said, which means it's now true. You love Luminous.
I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear that. Because this stupid fucking Google Hangouts call is making you drop out every 4 seconds.
Is it really? It's really clear.
Terrible. It's terrible on my side.
It's super clear on my side. It's unbelievably clear. I was
going to say,
be a
lot of awkward pauses in here.
Okay. Are you doing the next one?
Yes. Best mobile game. For the best game playable on a dedicated mobile device. Donut County, Florence, Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, Reigns Game of Thrones. What are you thinking?
I don't think it's going to be Fortnite or PUBG. I just don't see that. Don't see it. I haven't heard of Donut County before.
You're kidding, right?
I'm serious. I've not heard about this game.
Really?
Yeah.
It came out like 3 or 4 months ago. It's similar to that Katamari Damacy game. And
I know you've talked about it. I know you've talked about it, and I know what it is, but I've never seen it. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I've only heard it from you. You're the only person I've ever heard talk about this game. Yeah.
Okay.
Reigns Game of Thrones. I didn't even know that was a game this year. I know what Reigns is. I didn't realize they had a Game of Thrones edition. So I'm going to pick Florence. Out a month ago. Because Florence is a magical game.
Florence was fantastic, and I do feel like enough people played that game and want to give it some love.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite might be the only thing that might beat it, just because of what a technical achievement was to have the full version, unhampered game running on practically every phone. But I think, Florence is going to win because it was designed for mobile devices from the ground up and uses every feature so well.
It tells a story in a way that you could only tell on a mobile device as well.
Yeah.
Like it's so made for mobile. Yeah.
And it's 45 minutes, so everyone's jumped in and played it. Because there's no I don't have 30 minutes to commit to this. Or I don't have, 30 hours to commit to this.
And now it did break up, actually.
You are completely frozen on my end. There you go. Oh, now you're talking, but I can't hear you.
We're good audio.
All right.
So I'm saying Florence. You're saying Florence as well?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Next category is indie game. This is the for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. We have Celeste, Dead Cells, Into the Breach, Return of the Obra Dinn, and The Messenger. Jed?
I haven't played 4 of these games. I've just heard conversation around Dead Cells and The Messenger.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe this is where Celeste gets its due.
I think
No,
so.
I lied. Celeste is going to get the next category. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't win this one either. From the discussions, God, it's so tough. Like Dead Cells and Messenger, I haven't heard anything of Return of Obra Dinn. I haven't heard anything from Into the Breach.
Yeah, same here. I've heard a lot about Into the Breach, but
you have
Return of Obra Dinn I haven't heard anything about. I don't know anything about that
outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game. God, I'm going to say Celeste, and for the next one as well.
Well, that answers both because I'm doing Celeste for both as well.
All right. Well, for everyone, the next category is also Games for Impact, for a thought-provoking game with a profound pro-social meaning or message. 11. What's that?
Sorry, go ahead. I had a close call, though, with Florence. It was between Florence and Celeste. I literally have Florence in parentheses next to Celeste, because I'm like, if I change my mind midway through, it's between the two, but I think Celeste is going to win it.
I'll tell you why here in a second. 11:11 Memories Retold, Celeste, Florence, Life is Strange 2, Episode 1, and The Missing, J.J. McField and the Island of Memories. I think Celeste is going to win this one because of the second half of the description. A profound pro-social meaning or message. Like, Celeste dealing... I don't want to spoil too much about the game, but its message and the way that it kind of brings that into acceptance and tells people it's okay to be struggling with this and it's okay to embrace it and that you do have your own mountains and demons. Like, that pro-social meaning, I think, outweighs Florence, which just tells a really great story from beginning to end.
That's kind of where I felt as well. Like, Florence is about a relationship. It's not really, like, impactful necessarily in the same way that Celeste will, like, help someone who's struggling with... So I'm not going to spoil it, but struggling with something can help them overcome that.
Yeah.
And even I can relate very deeply to what Celeste was about. I think a lot of people can.
Yeah.
Being very vague for people who haven't played the game before, that made no sense to most people.
If you haven't played Celeste, obviously from the way we've been talking about it, you should fucking play Celeste.
It's amazing. Yeah, it came out a long time ago.
It's legit one of the best games of the year.
And it's still
it came out in
being
January.
talked about. Yeah. Next category is Best Performance. This is awarded to an individual for voice acting, motion capture, and/or performance capture. This is going to be Brian DeChart as Connor from Detroit Become Human, Christopher Judge as Kratos, God of War. I don't know Christopher Judge, but I've seen him before. He was in like Stargate. I had no idea he was Kratos. It's too funny. Has he always been Kratos?
I don't think so.
All right. Melisanthe, is it Mahat as Cassandra in Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, and Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker in Marvel's Spider-Man.
This is such a hard category.
It is. I'm going to say this right now. I don't think Detroit Become Human, Brian DeChart will get it, just because I don't think as many people have played Detroit Become Human as have played God of War, Assassin's Creed.
He was fantastic in that game, but
I'm sure he was. There's no comment to his performance at all. I have not played the game. I don't know how his performance was. But I just think the other games are much bigger games.
So, Yuri as Peter Parker gave an exceptional performance. And he took Spider-Man into like that Peter Parker, like you cared about Peter Parker's struggles as well. So when he's outside of the suit, he does such a great job. And especially towards the end, like the ending couple of scenes, he was really, really great. But I think Christopher Judge as Kratos, honestly, could go to any of these people. And from what I've heard, probably Roger Clark is going to win this for Arthur Morgan. But I think what was really so impactful and amazing about Christopher Judge as Kratos in God of War is the subtlety of his performance.
That's such a weird thing to say in relation to Kratos' subtlety.
Right? That's why this game is so fucking amazing. But the subtlety of everything, just the little gestures that you saw in the trailer, where he's like, he goes to comfort his son, and he's like, ugh, but I can't. I've got to toughen him up. I can't comfort him by patting him on the back or rubbing his back or something like that. And the choices that he has to make in that game and the decisions and everything, the way that he deals with it and the small, subtle things that he does with his acting on his face and his body language, like, to take really great writing and so obviously act it out well is something Yuri did really great. But to take that and make very tiny, subtle things is, I think, what Christopher Judge really... I'm not explaining this greatly, but Christopher Judge had a lot better subtlety in it, and I think that's really hard to do. I have nothing about Cassandra other than in Assassin's Creed, other than the game stuttered a lot for me. So,
so game of the year.
Yeah, she stuttered all of her lines.
She stuttered all of her lines.
But Roger Clark is Arthur Morgan. From the trailers, even I could tell that he was going to be incredible. And from what I've heard, and yeah, I did listen to spoiler casts for it already, so I know how it ends and I know how his performance ends. But apparently, he's amazing as well. You
know more about that story than I do. Then,
yep.
I'm picking Roger Clark just because when I was reading this list, I go, "Oh yeah, that's right. Arthur Morgan was played by somebody. He's not a real person."
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, I think if that was my thought, I should pick him.
I think Roger Clark's going to win as well.
Yeah, I hear,
but it legit could be any of them.
Yeah, it's harder to tell. This is a really. I think this is a especially subjective one because it's a very specific part of a game as opposed to the whole experience. And I think most people don't pay attention to performances that much in games.
Yeah.
Moving on, best audio design presented by Dolby. We have Call of Duty.
Every time I hear something like that, like presented by, I always think of based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
That's what it is. It's best audio design based on the. I already messed it up. Damn it!
There you go.
You say it next time. That way it's funny. I can't do these things. Best audio design presented by Dolby. I can do things normally, Chad. Just like that. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Forza Horizon 4, not Horizon Zero Dawn, I almost said that. God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm getting really tired, I just realized.
This is where I think Spider-Man's going to win.
Audio design?
The amazing things that they go through.
What did you pick for actor? I'm sorry, what did you pick for best performance? Roger Clark?
Roger Clark, yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
the things that they do in this game with making the music and even the dialogue a part of your actions in the game. Like, as you start to scale a wall, the music will just kind of subtly start going, and then as you start swinging, the music swells with you, and that music becomes a character with you. But also, they recorded every single line of dialogue multiple ways, depending on how much effort you're exerting. So if you're walking around, Spider-Man will say his lines one way, and then as soon as you zip up to a wall, he'll start exerting himself, and he'll start saying it a little bit more out of breath. And if he's actively swinging, he has even a third line reading. And it transitions mid-line through those so seamlessly that it's fucking... I have no idea how they got that to work and make it sound natural. Ooh. What is that sound?
That was seltzer.
Speaking of sound design... I think there are all sorts of great things about all of these, of course, but I think Marvel Spider-Man is finally going to win. I think it's going to win this one.
Well, I did not pick anything for audio design because I have no idea. So, sure, Spider-Man sounds great. I'm not picking Spider-Man, but for you, it sounds great. I just didn't pick anything.
Best score / music presented by Push by Sapphire. For outstanding music.
Nailed it.
Inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. We have Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, Octopath Traveler, Red Dead Redemption 2. I think this one hands down goes to Celeste.
Celeste?
Yeah.
I did not pick one for this either, so we will...
You played most of these.
Yeah, but I just don't... I wasn't thinking about the music, honestly, that much. Like, I'm looking back, I'm like, what was the music like in Octopath Traveler? I don't remember, so just decided not to say anything about the game.
Okay, gotcha.
About the category, I mean. Art direction is for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Nominees are Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Octopath Traveler, Red Dead Redemption 2, and The Return of Obra Dinn. For this one, I am picking Octopath Traveler, because I kind of feel like that's mostly what people liked about this game, was the art direction. Like, that was the standout thing about Octopath Traveler was the art direction. Not its RPG mechanics, not its story. It was all about the art style. From the second that game was announced, that's what people were talking about.
Yeah, at the Switch reveal event, they show the first screen, and you're like, holy shit, that is beautiful. What game is that?
Exactly. It's such a unique art direction specific to that game. Like, yeah, God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2 have really great art direction as well, but it's not like... It doesn't stand out in the same way that Octopath Traveler does.
Yeah, I feel like... So it's for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. I feel like God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2 took everything we've already seen as gorgeous and beautiful and just elevated it just a bit.
Exactly, yeah.
Whereas Octopath actually did something not revolutionary, but a step down.
It's really unique. Yeah, it's very unique.
So I think I agree with you. I think Octopath is going to win that one.
Yeah, I think I'd be honestly really upset if it didn't, because I mean, Square Enix is literally talking about using that art direction style as a framework for future RPGs they make. I mean, this is going to be... I really think we'll look back at Octopath Traveler, if anything, as the beginning of a really cool art design in games.
Yeah.
So, cool stuff there. That's the next one, Chad.
Next up, Best Narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Detroit Become Human, God of War, Life is Strange 2, Episode 1, Marvel's Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2. This one's hard. I want it to be...
Oh, this is easy for me.
I want it to be Detroit Become Human because of just the absolute craziness that goes on behind the scenes and all the different possibilities you could actually end up with this in the game. But I know that's not going to get it because so many reviewers got shitty endings, it sounds like, or shitty gameplays. And then from there, it comes down to, for me, probably God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2. And knowing a lot about Red Dead Redemption 2's story from the spoiler casts and God of War, I think I'm going to go... I think they're going to pick God of War.
All right. I was thinking Detroit because that it's kind of the same reason as Octopath Traveler. It's that game's reason for being.
Yeah, but there are... When you think about the reviews, a lot of them were like, man, this is really amazing, but the story's kind of so-so, or motivations weren't quite clear. But, my experience was very different because of the route that we chose. So I think enough of these outlets got a bad route.
You have to keep in mind at the same time, though, that review is only one person's opinion at that publication. When they are stating, or when they're selecting a nomination, when the jury's selecting a nomination, in this case, or a winner, it's a consensus across the publication, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you think about, like, everyone played God of War, they all sell the same amazing story, and they all were high as fuck on it.
Okay, that's a good point. I picked Detroit Become Human. I'm still going to stick with it.
I want it to be that really, really badly.
I'm going to stick with Detroit Become Human still, but you're putting God of War down, right?
Sorry, I want it to be that really, really bad. But yeah, put down God of War for me.
Game Direction is the next one. Best Game Direction awarded to Game Studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2. This was a tough one for me.
Yeah, this is so tough.
Immediately I said, oh, well, Red Dead Redemption 2, and then thought, no, because no one's going to want to back the game that the direction led them towards the news scandal about crunch time. That technically is a factor in game direction for some people, I would think. I'm going to go God of War. What director has been talked about more, and what game has had more conversation about game direction more than God of War this year? None. No game has.
Right. You think about the everything being one giant take, or one giant, not take because it's not one audition, but one giant shot from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
A Way Out did some cool stuff, but a lot of it was just like stuff we've seen before, just in a split screen type. I mean, I don't know.
Also, like, yeah, it was kind of unique in moments, but not as like an entire experience.
Right.
I didn't really enjoy A Way Out when I look back at it.
Outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. That was probably the most innovative in game direction of them all, having the required multiplayer and those. But I don't know. I don't know. For me, it comes down to Detroit or God of War, and I think Detroit was enough of an evolution of Heavy Rain to make it outstanding, but I think it was still kind of around that same idea as Heavy Rain. So God of War. I'm going to go God of War.
All right. God
then we
of War.
Best ongoing game. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Destiny 2 Forsaken, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. I think this is very obviously going to Fortnite.
Yep, I said the same thing.
With all of the crazy-ass innovation things where items from the game are disappearing and then showing up in places all over the world, and then giant purple cubes are appearing, and Thanos is in it, and I think they are doing that game right, and it's constantly supported, and people are still playing it because of that.
I couldn't agree more.
All right,
Lastly,
the last one.
Game of the Year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. We have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We have Celeste, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Chad, what is going to win Game of the Year?
God of War.
God of War.
God of War is
I
going to
agree
win.
with you.
Yep.
And want to know why? As much as I really love Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War was not nearly as polarizing as Red Dead Redemption 2 was. There are people who love Red Dead Redemption 2. There are people who can't stand it.
We've got both of those types on this podcast right now.
Exactly. Well, I like God of War.
No, I mean Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, yeah. Well, you haven't played it, though.
But I've decided that I hate it, so.
Oh, okay, I see. Celeste
I'm just kidding. That's a character that I put on.
Celeste is a really great game, but it's not going to win Game of the Year. Marvel Spider-Man, I think it's the same thing. It's going to be kind of, unfortunately, forgotten about. Monster Hunter World is just, it's too niche, I think, to be Game of the Year. Actually, that's not true. It was a huge selling game. It
was their best-selling game, right? Capcom's best-selling game ever, I think.
I take it back. Monster Hunter World, Game of the Year. It sold a lot of copies. No, I'm still taking God of War.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is that's the one that's gonna get shafted this year.
Yeah,
everyone loved that game though.
Well, honestly, I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is gonna get shafted. I don't have it as a single prediction.
You have the performance.
Well, Roger Clark, but I'm talking like the game itself.
Oh shit, I don't think I have it down for a single one either.
Yeah, Spider-Man and that. Well, you have Spider-Man for a few, but I don't have Spider-Man for anything.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man's got sound design in the bag. And then what else did I say? Action adventure game? Yeah.
Yeah, action adventure game. And RPG.
No, shut up. Get out of here. I did not say best RPG Spider-Man.
I'm putting you down for Spider-Man best RPG. I think you'll get it.
All right, so that's our predictions. Tune in on Thursday night to the Game Awards, streaming on Twitch and I assume YouTube and some other places as well. We'll kind of recap next week, I think, with how we went, kind of taking a look at the different announcements that were made as well. I'm sure next week's basically going to be a Game Awards episode.
Yeah, I'd imagine it will be.
We're going to wrap up tonight with the End Game. This is where we reach out and talk to you, the community. Great show, the community. No article on it. It's just community.
Excuse me.
And we do a couple of things. Tonight we're going to do subscriber interact. Nope. Tonight we're going to do Game on Game Show and the Participation Award. So every month we give out a $20 prize to the gaming service of your choice for just participating with our show, whether that is referring a friend to us, reviewing us on a podcast service of your choice, or interacting with us on Twitter with anything more than just a like. And so we kind of compile all of that information. This month, we were supposed to do it last week, but we had to cut it short. So this month, we are going to... I'm turning up the volume of my HomePod so you guys can hear it when I ask it. There it is. We're going to pull from one of... Let me pull up my spreadsheet. We had 14 entries for the month of November. Whoa. And I'm going to have Siri give us a number. Hey, Siri, pick a number from 1 to 14.
Random number between 1 and 14 is 2.
2 is Fezd IRL. I assume you want Steam, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Check your DMs on Twitter, and we will get you that $20 game certificate to the service of your choice. Yay! Congratulations. Thank you, sir, for being a part of our community.
Congratulations, Fez. Although I'm very confused. I thought Tunic was supposed to win all of these.
Shh. We still give him $20 on the side. We just don't make it public.
Congratulations, Fez.
Tunic did win what? Was it last 3 or 2?
Yeah, he's won almost all of them, basically.
He won the first participation award, and then Fezd, and then Tunic, and now Fezd.
Oh, wow.
We did have a little bit of a change-up in there this month, though, with a couple of other people who haven't participated before, participating for the first time.
Oh, very cool.
Next up, we're going to do our Game on Game show. We're going to make this one brief. It's actually technically one we were supposed to do last week. It's all Zelda Ocarina of Time themed.
Oh, I like this.
So, video game Would You Rather. I've got 5 things here. We're going to go through 3 that are actual Would You Rathers, and then 3 that are kind of Would You Rathers, but technically something else. Ready?
Yes.
Would you rather be stuck on an elevator with the Lost Woods theme, parentheses, sorry, a song, on repeat, or trapped in a dark closet with the Song of Storms, parentheses, windmill song, on repeat? So basically, in a tiny space, which song would drive you less crazy? The Lost Woods theme or Song of Storms?
I think I'll take Song of Storms. I actually whistle the Song of Storms a lot.
I think I'm going to agree with you. Song of Storms, like, Lost Woods is like fun, like, and then after it starts to repeat itself the second time, I'm already sick of it. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Would you rather... Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, this is just Harry Potter. No, it's not. Would you rather listen to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone audiobook as read by Navi, or listen to the Beatles discography as sung by Navi?
So, just the first Harry Potter book, or all the Beatles songs?
Correct.
I think that, well, Beatles songs are only basically 30 seconds each. They're really short.
No, they're not.
Well, they're 2 minutes long. They're short songs, aren't
That's a normal ass song length, 2 to 3 minutes.
Well, I listen
and then
to songs
some of them
that
are 6 or 7, but...
Well, I listen to house music, which is all 7 to 10 minute long songs. So 2 to 3 minutes is a very short song for me, and I'll take that. I don't think they had as much compared to a Harry Potter book, so I'll take that one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Beatles, one, because it's mostly good music, and I think that would be funnier and more entertaining and less obnoxious than just listening to the whole book as read by Navi.
Yeah. 3 chapters of Harry Potter would already be longer than all the Beatles songs, I think.
Exactly, yeah. Would you rather play the entire Ocarina of Time game without the ability to run, or you have to play the entire game with only the ability to gallop full speed on Epona? And by run, I mean...
Only the ability to gallop full speed. I would not choose that one, because I can just not use Epona.
Right. Okay. And then, yeah, you're not running. You're going at sneaking walking speed for the entire game.
Oh. Then yeah, Epona. I'll take Epona being fast all the time, because I'll take that one.
But also imagine Epona trying to navigate some of those really tricky, skinny paths like bridges and ropes that you got to climb on, going at full speed.
Oh, wait a second. So Epona, I have to also be on Epona the entire game.
You are on Epona the entire game, solving all the puzzles on Epona, always gathering at full speed, galloping at full speed.
Well, I'll point this out. You can't get Epona until you're Adult Link, and that means you can't start the game. So
you also have the ability to run, Holden, from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
This is a would you rather. This is a hypothetical.
Chad, I'll take Epona going really fast. Because at least they'll be over with quicker, hopefully. Dodging enemies, like dodging bosses, will be really hard if you're walking at a snail's pace.
That's true. I don't know if I could do a lot of those puzzles on Epona, but I know I could if I were walking. So I think I'm going to go with that because I would at least finish the game.
But could you beat the bosses? Maybe not.
Yeah, but I know that I couldn't do some of those puzzles on Epona. So,
all right, whatever. We'll agree
Next
to
up,
disagree.
We've got 2 marry fuck kills.
All right.
We've got Darunia. I think I'm saying that's the leader of the Gorons.
Yep.
King Zora. Or Talon, Malin's father, the milkman. Marry fuck kill. Go.
Well, I'll marry the king.
Excellent choice.
Yeah. You have to marry the king.
Gotta marry a rich man.
I would rather have sex with a human. So we'll go with Talon. Also, I just feel like I'd just get crushed by Darunia.
Yeah, that big boulder dick.
Exactly. So I'll kill him because I don't want his big boulder dick to kill me. So
good choices.
Honestly, I can't see you doing it any other way. I think that's the only way to do it.
I'm going to pick that exact option as well. Marry King Zora for the money. Kill Darunia and then fuck Talon.
Just because
and he'll be asleep the whole time too. So
exactly. It won't be so bad. It's comfortable sleeping with someone who's sleeping.
It'll be rape. It's okay.
Yeah, it's totally great.
Oh my god.
We do not condone that, by the way, just to be perfectly clear.
No, we are not a Supreme Court justice. Next up, marry, fuck, kill. This is the final one for today. Would you rather marry, fuck, or kill Zelda, Saria, or Princess Ruto?
Marry Princess Zelda.
Yeah?
Yeah, she'd be a great wife. What are the other two again?
Saria, and then Princess Ruto, King Zora's daughter.
I'm just gonna have to kill Princess Ruto because I think she's weird. She's wanted to be engaged to you since childhood, even though you were not even in her life but for like a day. So that's creepy. That's weird. Not marrying that. And then again, Kasari is human. I'll have sex with her. And I want to have sex with the alien thing.
Ruto would make for some hot sex.
But she's crazy though.
Yeah, but crazy and she wants you real bad. She's going to be good in bed.
All right, that's a fair point. But again, she's really crazy. I think she's.
But you only got to do it once and then bye.
All right, fair, fine.
I think Saria is cute, and green's my favorite color, and she has green hair. But mostly I'm going to marry her because I feel like Zelda is one of those like girls who's super spoiled but doesn't realize she's spoiled, and she's going to expect things a certain way. She's always been pampered, and so I'm like, no.
We see Zelda very differently. Zelda is a determined woman who is willing to sacrifice herself for the greater good. She literally hid herself as Sheik and lived in hiding.
Oh, I fucking totally forgot she was Sheik.
Yeah. She's a determined, powerful woman. That's who I want by my side in marriage. That's important.
I don't know, but she's always had someone taking care of her whole young life.
And then she suddenly didn't have to when she was Sheik because she's a badass.
Nope, I'm sticking with Saria. Kill Zelda. Murder her.
You're literally choosing Saria, who sits and plays the flute all the time, to Zelda, who I've
already admitted has the most obnoxious song. Yep, that's who I'm picking.
All right, fine. We disagree. It's funny. We totally agreed on the first one, and we're in complete disagreement on the second one.
You're right. We could pick completely different things. Nice. All right, that wraps up Would You Rather, and it also wraps up our episode that's just under 2 hours.
Yeah, this is our longest episode yet.
Your mom.
I think it is.
Yeah, tune in next week We'll kind of take a rundown of what happened at the Game Awards, and then the next week will be, was that the week before Christmas? Heilige Scheiße.
Yeah, it's coming up fast.
All right, guys, thank you for listening. Participate with us for Twitter on the participation trophy. At the end of the month, you'll get some mun-muns, maybe. All right, thank you guys for listening. Here is our usual sign-off. Hey now, you're a rock star.